going on, people? What's going on? First person on here is Jack West. Big up Jack West, and Hassan and two others. Lady Purpose, hard hitting black media. Rayhan, oh, you man are ready for Stana, yeah? Saying nothing. Gonna be here in a few minutes. Just want to say hello to everyone for tuning in. Say hello for everyone for coming on here to find out about Stana and his story. What's going on, Mr. Invisible Man, my guy, man. I'm good, man, I'm good. Bobby, you never answered my question, bro. What was your question, Ahmed? Yeah, I'm about to do an interview. Big up everyone, man. Big up everyone that's tuning in right now. We should be starting in a couple of minutes. I'm waiting for Stana to jump on here. Big up Aaron. Big up 43 Briggs. Big up Ohms Sauce. Wait, is that Ohms from Peckham? That's not Ohms from Peckham, is it? Is that Ohms? Is Ohms that you? Just waiting for Stana to join the live. Stana is that guy, yeah. Oh, Hazel. Hazel. Don't get onto me, Hazel, man. Hazel, I promise you an interview, 100%. 100%. Trust me, Hazel. I promise you an interview. We're gonna get that done, man. We're gonna get that done. Someone hit up Stana, let him know the people are ready. The people are ready. Big up you same way, Ohms. Big up you same way. Stana's here. Looks like Stana's here, guys. Alright, cool. Let me get him on air. Let me get him on air. Yo, what's going on, bro?
Well done.
It's here, man. The people are here to see you, man.
Come on.
Let me say, man, first and foremost, as we always do, how are you? How's the family? Happy Father's Day, by the way.
Yes, happy Father's Day to you too, man. Everyone's blessed, man. Everyone's good. Kids are alright. You know what I mean?
What'd you guys do today?
Just chilling. Just the kids. They was out at their uncle's for the weekend, but they come back today. You know what I'm saying? So I'll see them today.
Okay.
Just chilling off, relaxed day.
Okay. So everyone's been waiting here, so I'm trying to do this whole series, give people platform to talk about what they need to talk about, but also so the youth understand that the history of where people are come from and transition of where they're gone now. So in your own words, first and foremost, let the people know who you are, because there might be some people who are unfamiliar. So let them know who you are and where you're from.
I'm just a rapper, innit, really. You know what I mean? Just a street rapper, really. Just rap about a lot of street. Some of my music, you know what I mean, it's conscious. From East London, Leighton, Waltham Forest. That's where I kind of grew up, in them areas there.
Were you born in the UK?
Yeah, I was born in England, yeah. Born in Waltham Forest.
So I've done a story about you, but obviously I kind of got a background, but I guess the people who don't know, you told them, so you said you grew up in Leighton.
Yeah.
How was it?
Waltham Forest, the whole area of Waltham Forest.
Okay. How was it growing up? How was that area growing up for you?
You know what? It's just typical. You know, I was a typical road youth. I was on the roads a lot, running about with my friends from here to there, getting involved in a lot of criminal activity. You know what I'm saying? Kicked out of school when I was young. Bad behavior.
What made you think? So, how did that transition go from you're a young boy? What made you start getting into trouble, sort of getting kicked out of school?
You know what? At a young age, you know what I mean, my discipline kind of went, and I feel like it was around the stage I was about 10, 11. I lost my parents; they passed away, and I just kind of didn't really have. I wouldn't say I didn't have a father figure. I had a lot of uncles, but they couldn't give the same discipline. Do you know what I mean? So it was like, I feel like I was just out there rebelling a little bit. You know what I mean? Trying to just be my own man a bit too quick.
Yeah. So,
you know what I mean?
So having, because I guess it's very hard. I couldn't imagine it being a young person losing both your parents, let alone one. Do you think had they been there, there'd have been more structure in your life?
Yeah, of course. Because obviously, you know, when it like the sort of dad that I had, he's not gonna let me run about and be out on the streets as much as I was. To be honest, that's how I feel.
So
Do you know what I mean? But to
what's
say
your
that,
go on.
sorry, to say that at the same time, I've got brothers and sisters, you know what I mean, that didn't choose this path.
Mm.
So I can't really blame it on that. But for me, I feel like I did need the discipline.
Yeah. So where's your background? Where's your family from?
My mum and dad were both born in England. My dad's parents from Jamaica, and my mum's parents, dad's from Senegal, and her mum's English.
Okay. So you said then the transition got kicked out of school. It started jumping on the road life. How how did it start? Did you just locally in the area, friends saying let's hang around? Did you feel like you was part of a gang, or was it just like just a man them, and then you started doing the activities? What was like the early activities? What was it like? Just
Yeah, it
graffiti?
wasn't gang. It wasn't gang. It
Mm,
wasn't a gang. I wasn't part of any specific gang from school days. I would say more in the school days, it was just like a group of friends. I knew everyone. I'd
mm,
lived in every part of the borough. Like I'd lived in Leytonstone, I've lived in Woodford, Walthamstow, Chinkford, Leighton. I'd lived in all of the, do you know what I mean? So I knew everyone
mm,
from everywhere. So I would just hang around everywhere. There was a estate called Boundary in Walthamstow.
mm.
I used to hang about there a lot when I was about 13, 14. Do you know what I mean?
So was that the
And
early activities as a 13-year-old? Like what was you guys sort of doing?
we was just doing typical street robberies, mobile phone robberies, stealing cars, just naughty kids.
Mm,
Never really had no structure to it. It wasn't organized crime. Do you know what I mean? It
mm.
wasn't really about money. It was just out there. We're out here, innit?
So even at that young age, did you ever sort of have ambition? Was there something like, being a young person in England, most and former people, I want to be a footballer, I want to be this. What was your thinking when you was young?
No, I feel like there was a stage when I definitely had lost all ambition and couldn't see myself as anything. Do you know what I mean? I think at that stage there, until I went to prison,
Mm,
and that's when I took a step back and thought, wait, what do I want to do? I started rapping, you do a little drawing, writing. I had more options to think about.
yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
So so how many times has you gone to prison? Was it the one time or was it numerous times?
How many times have I been to prison now?
Yeah, no. At that time, how old were you in the first time you went to prison?
First time I went to prison, I was 16, just turned 16.
16. And how was that for you being on road? Did you expect that you might end up in prison? Was it like a shock for you?
Yeah, 100%. No, it wasn't a shock. Like I've been arrested many times and threatened with it, and I've just been getting a blind. And like I said, through my past, yeah, through my childhood,
Mm,
it's like it was an excuse that even probation used to use for me when the judge come to sentencing, like he's been through a lot and
yeah.
blah blah. So I got a blind up until 16. 'Cause I should have went to jail before that.
Okay.
You know what I mean? But yeah, when I went, I knew I was gonna go.
Mm. So I'm assuming at 16 you went to Feltham.
Yeah, straight to Fulham.
So when you was in Feltham, how was because me, I talked about when I went to prison for the first time, thinking, oh my God, I'm going to prison. I cried. How was that for you? Was there any
Nah,
emotions?
you know what? Nah, this is what I'm saying. I was rough. Like,
Mm,
I thought like I was tough and I was rough. So, but at the same time, I get along with people. I'm not really a person that has a lot of conflict naturally. You know what I'm
mm.
saying? So it wasn't. I wasn't in there for long. I got 4 months, do 2. Do you know what I mean? So I was only there for 8 weeks for the first time,
Okay.
and so it was obviously I was away from my family and that, but like I said, then I didn't grow up like that.
Mm.
So I was, if anything, I was away from my friends and that, but they was all in there anyway.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
So was it that period where you met Gex at the time, that first period, or was it?
No. I met Get on the next period.
Okay.
I came out and I went straight back in.
How long was you out for?
I was out for a month, 4 weeks.
So how was it for you then? Let's push a little forward before we go back. How was it for you when you see that famous thing with your cousin, which is Bashi, and obviously
Yeah.
gets going, oh Stana man, oh Stana man. Was you in prison at the time when you heard that?
Yeah, no, I came out when I heard it, but I was in prison at the time when it happened.
Yeah. So how was
Yeah.
that seeing two people that you're sort of cool with and you're thinking, wait a minute, what's going on? Did you try to intervene and say, guys, what's
It's
going on?
not Bash is my family. This is
Mm.
my family. Like this, that's my blood. Do you
Yeah.
get what I'm trying to say? That's my blood
Mm.
cousin. Yeah. So it's like it was just funny. It was weird, but I knew that it was just music. You know what I mean? I
Mm.
don't even like talking about it and going over. Like I feel like that's their moment. I hate
Yeah.
to be pulled into their moment and look like I want some of that moment. Yeah, they said my name. Like fuck that. Like for real.
No, but
You
your
know what I
name
mean?
was there, so that's like people's like, Stana, man, who's that? So people who wouldn't have known
Yeah.
is like, oh, so for the people who don't know, is the guy in front of you. So you said that you came out of jail and then you went straight back in. So that was like after a couple of months. How many years did you get this time?
I got 3 years for
3 years
robbery.
for robbery. And then
Yeah.
would you at this point would you already sort of doing music or was it still on the?
No, I wasn't. I wasn't doing any music. Obviously, I've always been like a bit of an MC kind of guy. Go radio station with my brethren and that, but not really. Do you know what I mean? Doing music,
You know,
music as that. I wasn't classed as a rapper or artist or nothing.
mm.
Or nothing like that.
And then I guess you finally came out, and then you got the eventual other case. So when you
Mm,
got the, I don't go into details, but it was sort of a case that people look like, wow, what's going on there? At that
mm.
moment, like when that happened, did you feel like, oh my god, I'm finished?
Of course, I thought I was done.
Mm,
100%. That once I got nicked, I thought it was game over. Do you know what I'm saying?
mm.
100%. I had no doubt, but that wasn't the case. You know what I'm saying? And
Would
that's
you,
how you feel. You're always gonna feel like that at the time, man.
yeah. And would you put that would you put that to prayer and your faith? Was you praying a lot?
Yeah, I was praying a lot, and do you know what I mean? When I got that case, I went to Belmarsh,
Yeah.
so it was like it wasn't unusual. There was a lot of people in there with serious cases, looking at serious time. I didn't feel like an odd guy out.
Mm,
Do you know what I'm saying? So that sometimes that's a comfort,
yeah.
and do you know what I mean? I studied my case. That's one thing that I learned to do. That
Mm,
like study your case. You know what I mean? Go through everything and just pray and all of that. And you know what I mean? It started to get better as it progressed.
yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying?
But there was a period where part of it, you thought, oh my god, this could be it for me as well. Like I'm done.
Yeah, that's just it. Like I'm never ever gonna see any freedom ever again. Do you know what I'm
Mm.
saying?
So,
Yeah, it
so
was.
did they catch you straight away, or you was on a run first?
I was on the run for about 3 days.
Only 3 days. Because I've talked
Only
about being on
3 days.
a run for like 4 or 5 months, and being on a run is the worst part. Like you're panicking, you're scared. You go to sleep. Because for me, sleep was my comfort. I sleep and I forget about everything, and I wake up and I'm like, oh, that dreaded feeling. Did you ever get that?
Listen, when I was on the run, 2 days after my offense happened. So my offense happened on the 27th of June. On the
Mm.
29th of June, my son was born.
Oh
So
wow.
it's like, so while I was on the run, so much was going on. I wanted to see my baby moms, make sure everything was all right. It was like, oh my gosh, why? So much was going on. Do you know what I'm saying?
Mm.
So it's like once my son was born, I felt a bit more relief. Like, right, he's born, everything's okay now. Like,
Mm.
boy, I was thinking about ways to hand myself in. You know, you go through all
Yeah.
sorts of you know what I mean? But they caught me. They got me before I got a chance to even make any decision
Yeah.
to either fully run or go hand myself in
Yeah.
because it was on the news and that. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
You see, and I remember you was under Obo. So was things so bad at the time that police just wanted you? Because why would they put you under observation? And was you ever aware? Because sometimes when you're under Obo, you might see a car. I swear I see that car. You start getting paranoid. Did you ever have any inkling that they was onto you?
Yes. Yeah. And this is the maddest thing, yeah. It's right. So obviously, like I said, it was a lot of criminal activity. This is how I was. I was up to no good.
Mm.
But obviously I saw little things. I'd never been on Obo before that I was aware of, but I saw little things that make me be like, nah, you know what? That's police, you know.
Mm.
Do you know what I mean? But on the day of my offense, it left my mind. It just left my mind, like it slipped my mind. Like if I would have remembered that, you know what, I wouldn't have went and done what I've done. It wouldn't have happened like that.
Mm.
Do you know what I'm saying?
So you end up getting caught anyway. And how long was your sentence?
IPP 6 years,
6 years. And how long did you end up doing?
8.
8 years, which is relatively not too bad considering the nature of it, and also with IPP, sometimes it gets overextended. How was your time in prison that time doing 8 years straight?
Yeah, well, listen, when I got the sentence, whatever, during the trial, I thought there was a point when I thought I was gonna go home,
Mm.
100%, because it's like I felt like the officers on the case, they told a lot of lies when they didn't need to. Do you know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
when the police think that they've got you red-handed, they start slacking.
Mm.
Like we got him, that's it, it's him, done.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? So they miss so much things, and in the trial it showed, and they tried to catch up, and so it was looking. There was sometimes it because I never got caught in the scene. I wasn't red-handed,
Yeah.
no matter what. You know what I mean? There wasn't camera footage. It was none of that.
Mm.
So, but there was cell site. There was things that was putting me right there. There was officers saying they would get to me. But so I forgot the question.
So basically, like, yeah, time in prison. So like now, you first time you done 2 months, then you've done 18 months. I'm assuming for the 3.5. Now you're doing 8 years straight. And how
Yeah,
did
yeah,
you
yeah.
feel when you got that sentence? And also your time in prison. How did you spend it? How did you occupy yourself?
Right. So yeah. So when I got the sentence, I'd already been 18 months in. I think like 18 months in. Do you know what I mean? I've been in a cycle of jail. I've
Mm.
never been out for no longer than a year.
Yeah.
I've been in this cycle, so I was used to being in prison. I was in a different prison crowd, I would say, but yeah, it was hard being away from my kids
Mm.
because this time I had kids. Do you know what I'm trying to
Yeah.
say? Right? So it was like, all right, cool. You've got to like fix up so this don't happen again, innit?
Mm.
You know what I mean? I've never been in such a long time. I knew that there was gonna be a lot when I come out. It was gonna be gone. Do you know what
Mm.
I'm saying? So I have to just take that in a bit and just adjust myself and behave and make sure I make the right moves, try and get to the right prisons to progress me. You know how it goes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I had to work a lot with my probation.
Mm.
I had a guy from Walthamstow, some Rasta man.
Mm.
And you know what? God always put good people in on my side. This is what I
Yeah.
realized that I was blessed. I never got no bad mind probation. He was all right.
Mm.
And he, do you know what I'm saying? He just understood and was just trying to help me get out. Like, look, you got your family and that fix up. Do you know what I mean? You've done what you've done. Like, your heart don't seem like you're just, that's what you want to be or that's
Yeah.
who you are. Like, so it just helped. You know what I
Mm.
mean?
So,
I just committed myself.
did you like? Was there any courses you look back and say, you know, doing this course actually helped me? Because I remember being in jail, they made me do ETS, they made me do victim awareness. Did you have to do any of those courses as well?
Yeah, yeah. I've done them all.
Yeah.
Like the majority of them ones there, except for the long 18 months ones. I didn't do none of those ones.
Mm.
But all the short termish ones, I've done all of those. And I would say I got something from all of them.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? They actually helped. Like
Mm.
it kind of brings you back to kind of school days. You're with a classroom. Do you know what I mean? I needed that. This is what I'd been missing out on. Do
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? So I soaked a lot of it up.
Left and you ended up
Huh?
into you finally end up in HMP Ford.
Ford, yeah.
Yeah.
After
So
I've
I met
gone
your cousin.
through,
So I think you maybe left just before I went there, because I went there and I met your cousin Thorpe, and he was in the same wing as him. And I remember they used to talk about, yeah, he's a hard rapper. He's a hard rapper. I remember having my phone and started to listen to some of your music. So was that during jail that you wanted to start taking rapping seriously?
yeah. I released something when I was in Swellside before that, like a couple years before that.
Mm.
Once I got to Ford, I was definitely coming out to like make music. I was
Mm.
100% sure that that was something that I wanted to do.
Mm. And
You know what
also,
I
I
mean?
remember you made a track with Crazy Titch while you was in jail as well.
Yeah. Few tracks. I made a few tracks with him though.
Yeah. And how was it? I guess because I remember, I guess, being in jail and seeing someone else who's got life. You sort of kind of like, you have your smiles and laughter with them, but then you have after thoughts and think, bloody hell, I'm going home, and man still has to be there. How, like, not even just him, but like with lifers, how do you feel about them in terms of the interactions and thinking about how long they'll be doing?
Bro, it is sad. I'm not gonna lie. Like when you really think about it, it hurts. You get what I'm saying? Because these are all good guys. You know what I mean? Like Crazy Titch is one of them guys I was bonded with. Like not just because of the music. You know what I mean? The music was a huge part of it, but I just bonded with him. Like he's just one of them characters. Yeah, like when he's in your face and that he's sometimes he's like that. As soon as you like away from him, you miss him. He's one of those guys. Like you get what I'm saying? So sad to leave people like that behind. 100%. Like when I left Ford, I left a brother. Yeah, that I was with in Feltham.
Yeah,
And
wow.
back in the first time I ever went to Feltham. And I remember, like, he was coming to the end of his sentence as well.
Wow.
But leaving, bro, I had a tear in my eye. 100%. That was mad. You're like, obviously I didn't want to stay, but it's like, raw, boy. Like, I wanted him to go home.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
So in regards to like being home, how difficult did you find it? Maybe being away for 8 years, the transition of, man, I've been away, I've come out, I need to make, because I talk openly about how I felt broke. I had to go and try and do a night shift, and the thing is to make sure that, I guess you feel a bit ashamed a little bit, like, everyone used to see you as a sort of this person, now you're not that no more. How did you feel about that coming out, and then you have to sort of really transition, and the humility that comes to that, to humble yourself?
Yeah, that I would say that was probably the worst part. Do you know what I'm saying? That I had a lot of ego there, so therefore, when you got a lot of ego, that is gonna be the part that hurts you the most. That everyone doesn't see you as that guy that you was, and you got to go work. But at the same time, I'd always had some sort of a work ethic. Before jail, I'd worked before. I tried to, at least. Do you get what I'm saying? So I came out, I was broke. Do you know what I mean? Some people try to help. You get me? I have good people that try to help me sometimes. Like, but I just had to soak it up, bro. For my kids and that, I always knew that I would start picking myself up, no matter what. That's just who I am. You know what I'm saying?
How easy was it to not say, you know, who's got a key? Like, yo, take me a key, let me go and shop. Like, or who's doing any fraud? Who's got any robberies? How easy was it to try to stay away from that?
But it weren't easy, bro. Like, this is what I'm saying. Like, if I'm keeping it 100, like a lot of the time, I felt like I may even fell deeper into the streets, fell back. You get me? But I would say now I had more skills to say like, no. Do you get what I'm saying? So anytime I did get to a point where it's like, yo, you're becoming that person you was when you was 20 years old, or you might go. I had skills to be like, no, don't do that, and that memory. Do you get what I'm saying? But I've been back to jail since. I've had a recall. Yeah. In 2017. Okay. For some bullshit. Do you know what I'm saying?
But let's so now I guess we've touched on the past and moved on a bit. So now let's talk about the music now. So that for me, you make good music, and I remember there's a tune you made with DWE, and I kept on replaying it. And I think a lot of times what it is, there's so many people making good music, and what just that people kind of sleep on it because I guess the marketing and you need people to support it. What do you think is because you're going to be happy with making music regardless, whether it sells or not. What do you think is the missing link, that spark that just is, okay, look, guys, you guys are missing out here. You need to listen to this guy. What do you think is missing? Because the streets, I guess the streets know about you, the streets love you, but how do you sort of get to that next level?
If I did know the exact answer to that, then it might have happened already. Do you get what I'm saying? So I don't think I've got the right answer. But what I will say is, you got to know how to take advantage maybe of your story a bit more. Like, do you know, some people throw it around. Like, I don't feel like I use my story to my advantage enough, for one, because you can do that in your lane, innit? At the end of the day, that's what you got to do to market, innit? So I didn't do that. And sometimes you just don't push hard enough, bro. Like, the streets are still within you, and you're bringing it into the music industry. There's a very thin line between this music industry and the streets. Like, some people would say that the music brings them even more into it. Yeah. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what? Like, if I want to be away from the streets, I've even got to step away from music. Like, it's that serious. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
Because you know what I mean.
I never even thought
The
about it
image
that way.
that yeah,
Never
because
thought
my
about it that way.
image, bro, is like the image I built up. It's like the fans will start egging you on to be that guy again,
Mm.
and you might only be being that guy in the music. At home, you might just be the normal, peaceful guy that you are now. But in the
Mm.
music, people's thinking you're flipping gangbanger, Stana, and all that. But
Mm.
do you know what I mean? And it's
Mm.
making people feel like, oh, he thinks he's alpha male and that. And
Mm.
yeah, so
But that's the thing. I mean, one thing you definitely touched on is that utilizing your story. Because me, as you probably seen, I've been on the news about 20, 30 times since I've come out of jail. But they're just telling the same story. I just
mm,
remix it every single day with a new initiative, which makes them say, let me come back again. So personally, I would say definitely utilize your story to the best of your ability to maximize
yeah,
your publicity. Not that you're going to do any negatives, but say, guys, look, this is what I've done, and this is my transition, and I'm rapping and making a music. I'll say utilize your story to the max, because your story is unique. It's very unique.
mm-hmm,
And especially in
mm-hmm,
regards to the offense and everything around it, it's very unique. And just to show the transition of who you were to what you become now, I'll say utilize it. And the second point I want to touch on is that you're right in terms of having, I guess, a music persona and being at home persona. And I mentioned before when I spoke to Joe Black, and as you know, everyone knows Joe Black's one of the hardest spitters around from the UK.
mm-hmm.
And him being how he is now, he feels like when he raps, he can't sort of rap about gangbanging because it's not the lane that he's in anymore. So how do you sort of, I guess, have that transition in terms of your lyrics and how you put that out now? Because I guess people still want to hear some of that cruddy stuff, but how do you balance that in terms of trying to get mainstream and get people to listen as well?
Yeah, this is the thing. It's so difficult. Do you know what I mean? If like you're not gonna feel it yourself, if you're talking about something that you're not really a part of no more. And I've done that for so long. But you know what I mean? Sometimes I might feel like it's the beat. The beat will draw me out. I'll hear a beat and it's like I can only talk crud on them sort of beats.
Mm,
Do you know what I mean?
mm.
So it's like you've got to stay away from certain
Yeah.
beats. You might hear a certain artist will come out and think like, oh my gosh, he's inspired me to do some drill trap now because
Mm,
it's just hard. So it's a lot of that. It's where you're putting your attention. You're gonna be. If you don't want to be a certain way, you got to
mm,
kind of stay away from it as well. That's just
mm.
it's tough. You
Yeah.
can't say to yourself you don't want to rap about bang bang bang, but that's all you're listening to.
Mm,
Do you know what I mean? So it does feel hypocritical, bro. But music's music, so I
yeah.
feel like man should rap their thing anyway.
Mm.
That's it.
In regards to drill, what do you feel about the whole movement?
Yeah, man. I like Joe. Obviously, of course, it's still got the street music in it that is influencing the youths. Facts. Like no matter what anyone says, of course it's an influence. Music is an influence on people.
Mm.
Yeah. Do you know we can all agree on that.
Yeah.
Right? And if the music's bad, then it's gonna be a bad influence on you. But
Mm.
look what it's doing. You can't argue with what it's doing. It's making people going to be stabbing each other and doing that anyway
Yeah.
as well. It's like I feel like it's giving like it's a way out. If I
Mm.
was that age now, that's what I'd be rapping about.
Mm.
Drill.
Mm.
Obviously I'll try not to be talking all this what
Mm.
they talk, but it's the culture, bro. You can't escape the history of culture of how they've grown up and what they've seen.
Mm.
Do you know what I mean?
Would you jump on a drill bill? Would you jump
The
on a
drill
drill
beats.
beat?
Yeah, I would, but I wouldn't. It wouldn't like you know what I mean. I'm not that age again, so it would
Mm.
just be a bit of. It would just be fun, innit?
Mm.
Just
And
to see.
we've got how many projects have you got out now? I know, like since you've been out now, I've seen a few albums have come out now. We listened to a few of them. What would you say is your standout project? And yeah, let people know how many projects you got out. What's your standout project? And is there any more music coming out?
I got 5 projects that are actually out. I got 6 projects. I got 6 projects, yeah. And my favorite project is the most standout one is probably Porridge because I recorded it in prison.
Mm.
Do you know what I mean? So it's just raw. It's recorded in a certain way. Do you know what I mean? So that one is the most standout for me. But the best one that I like the most is Bandulu, which I released what, 2 years ago
Yeah.
or 2000? Yeah, I think so. Yeah, 2 years ago.
And you got
Love
any?
that.
You got plans to make more projects? You got anything new coming out?
Don't know about project yet, but definitely gonna like drop one or two singles, get back into a rhythm. Do you know what I mean? Um, on my own channel as well. I want to do a lot on my own channel, build up my own thing for other things that I want to do. You know what I mean? I feel like music is my biggest platform
Mm.
right now. So that is what's going to help me
Mm.
put the eyes on anything else I want to do in the future. So
I'll
that's
tell you
just,
what. I'll tell you what. Yeah, personally, yeah, I didn't have the reputation that you've had, that you've got on road, right?
mm,
But I sit down on YouTube every day and tell my stories and I've managed in a month to get 33,000 subscribers now. Yeah, just
mm,
me telling and from that, I can now put whatever I want on my own platform. So I
exactly.
would definitely say, as you said, utilize your story. Yeah, the story that I
Mm-hmm.
told first was the story how I became a Peckham boy, and that's on its way
Yeah.
to 300,000 views. You tell
Mm,
the story of your incident with the police on YouTube.
mm,
That will get you the subscribers. That will get you the
mm-hmm.
push, and then you can just tell different stories. And I think that there's a lane because everyone starts something, right? Someone started doing music. A lot of people do music. Someone started writing books. So I'm saying that I'm starting to tell these YouTube stories, but there's plenty of people who can go out there and tell better stories than me. And you're one of them. You got stories for
No,
days that you can go up there and start telling stories, and people will subscribe. People listen because I sit there every day telling stories, and my videos get 20, 30,000 views. But who am I compared to, I guess, someone like you who was really doing what you was doing, and it shows within your case. So that would be my advice. And then what you got then, you got a platform of people who are now coming to you to listen to your stories, and at the same time push your music there as well. Because YouTube
mm-hmm.
now pay me for advertising, and that's just another
Yeah, of course.
revenue stream. So I would
Yeah,
definitely
no,
say,
I've seen you. I've seen you working. I've seen you working, and 100%. When I saw you doing that, I see you say that before. I
mm,
see you give that advice, and I was like, yeah, man, right. Do you know what I mean? Man should do that. If you've got a story, you should tell it. You know
mm,
what I mean? What for me, it's like getting the confidence to articulate myself in the right way. Then I'm gonna start sailing, bro. You're gonna see
mm,
me just like chatting off my mind. You're gonna be
mm.
like, shut up, bro. You're talking too much. You know what I'm saying? But
No,
right now, I
100%.
feel like I don't wanna talk too much at the moment.
Mm,
Do you get what I'm saying?
I hear
Just
that.
at the moment, bro. But I will be definitely sharing loads of my story.
But like I'm
I
saying,
have to. Do you know what I mean?
yeah, because like I said, it's like another revenue stream that comes in. Because YouTube gave me like £1,000 last month. That's just me on Instagram just talking. I mean, it's not.
Yeah,
It's not just for the month. For just me just sitting down talking. So there's no reason
that's
why
good.
you shouldn't
That's
go
good
do that.
money.
Especially with your reputation and what you've been through in your story, people will definitely lap it up. And also, I guess I spoke to last time as well about sort of people who are rapping, and I mentioned like again Joe Black again. I said, would you consider sort of getting into artist management and sort of managing the young youth, and also do you keep your ears to the street of people like in Leighton and Walthamstow Borough, who's the next person that's coming up and so on?
Yeah, this is something that I feel like that's one thing that I've lacked on.
Mm,
Like I should have done that from the jump because I feel like I did kind of have that influence and sort of power to kind of, do you know what I mean?
mm,
But managing, I would say more mentoring
yeah,
than managing because I don't feel like I've got manager experience. I don't feel like there's somebody that I can make them blow
mm,
or I've got all of these links to make things happen.
mm,
But in terms of mentoring them and coaching them and talking them through things, 100%,
mm,
100%. I need to do that. Do you know what I mean? I have my own little record label and that. You know what I mean?
mm. Would we ever see Stana the movie?
The movie, Stana.
Mm.
Well, I need that money, but that will cost money, you know, because
I mean, there's people in the industry who love you, so they're going to see this interview and make it happen. Because one of the things I've managed to acquire is a lot of links, a lot of networks, and there's always people saying, "What ideas you got? What ideas you have?" So there's always ways someone can make it happen. Get someone to tell the story, someone can write a screenplay, and boom, you sell it to producers. That's how it works. So there's so many different things as Black people that no one teaches us, and we have to learn through our network. No one teaches us, oh, you can go and do this, you can go and do that. We just think, okay, we have to go and sell drugs, we have to go. But there's so much more things that we can do within our community that is not promoted to the youth. And that's one of the things I was so keen to get you on here as well, because that you're someone that's gone through it. And like, I bump into you all the time. Like, I see you a couple of times from, I think we live locally to each other as well. So it's one of those things that where, like, you know, when you see someone, you have a good aura, you want them to win. You're like, nah, man, I want this guy to win. I want this guy to win. And for me, people sleep on your music and they need to actually start paying attention. But like I said, maybe music might not be the lane. Maybe it might be the same thing that I've done. Where, because I used to think I was a hard rapper. Like, I'll tell people now I used to think I was a hard rapper, but I'm probably a shit rapper. But I thought, okay, let me go on YouTube, tell my story, and it's gone. So I would say, bro, definitely utilize that. And how is it in regards to how many children you got? You got two? Three
kids.
So how is fatherhood for you? It's Father's Day, so this how's fatherhood for you?
You know what, bro? That's my legacy there. Do you know what I mean? If I can look at anything to be genuinely proud of and say, you know what, it's my kids, bro. Like they're just not part of that world. Like you said, innit, we live locally, bro. It don't feel like where I grew up. You get what I'm trying to say? It don't feel the same. I feel like my kids ain't in that world. Do you know what I mean? They're proper. And I've got to give a lot of credit to my baby mums, of course, because I was away for the majority of their lives. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But proud, bro. If I die today, bro, I know my kids will do me proud. I just know I'm confident. Do you know what I'm saying? They're their hearts are pure. Do you know what I mean?
Nah, definitely. So the last few questions then. How important is your faith?
My faith is so important, man. And I just find out all these weaknesses here that we have in life here. This is why all these discipline, do you know what I mean? Having discipline is important because, especially when it comes to religion, it's like you've got to have discipline because you keep slacking, and when you slack on something that your heart's committed to, it's like you depress yourself a bit. Do you know what I mean? And that's what I felt with religion. I felt like, do you know what I mean? Sometimes I look and think, oh, I'm a bad Muslim or something and that, but do you know what I mean? It's not that. That's not the case, man. You just gotta always be trying. Do you know what I'm saying? That's it, man. Like, I'm glad I've got my religion.
And I guess the last question is that if you had, actually 2 questions, we end with 2. If you can tell your young self one advice, what would you have told your young self?
I would tell myself to have confidence. Do you know what I mean? Grow your confidence. So when you're confident, you can say no. You can make the right decisions. Do you know what I mean? That is the most important thing. Kids nowadays ain't got no confidence. Do you know what I mean? It's just follow. Watch TV. You want to be like that. You want to be like this. You got to just know yourself and want to be something for yourself. Want better for yourself. Do you know what I'm saying? And that's it. If you want good for yourself, genuinely, you're not going to do certain things, man. You know what I mean? Care about yourself. I didn't really care. It got to a stage where I didn't care. Do you know what I mean?
So I guess you've answered my second question. Because my second question is that have you got a message for the youth, but you've answered it all in one. So there. But bro, like honestly, big up yourself and big up your thing. And like I said, I can't wait to actually hear your story, your own words on your YouTube channel. I'll be one of the first subscribers. Like I said, utilize them and tell your story. Like I said, I found a lane where, and to be fair, someone like Lippy was doing it earlier. And I just thought, let me just do that. And it's worked out for me. So that I'm telling you that with your one, it will definitely work out, bro.
Yeah, man. Bro, thank you, man. Thanks for having me on there, man. Appreciate it, man. And you too, yeah? Keep doing what you're doing, bro. Don't let nobody slow down your thing, man. I'm proud, man.
I appreciate it, man.
Respect, bro.
Cool, bro.
Love, man.
Yeah. All right, guys. Thank you all for tuning in. Yeah, that was Stana. Make sure once he starts his YouTube page, you guys go and follow. It's very difficult when people are released from prison to actually find that transition because it's hard, especially if you had a reputation and you want to sort of keep up with the Joneses, and it just takes more strength to say, you know what, I'm gonna take it easy, you know. And something like I said, there's pressures. You get a lot of pressures from, I guess, parents and so the mother of your children was like, oh, we need this, we need that. But sometimes be patient with the man who just come out of jail. You ain't gonna have it all straight away because that pressure can make him send him back to go and do things again. So big up Stana, big up his thing, and make sure you guys all tune in. If you want to see this video again, it's going to be available on here, and it's also going to be available on YouTube. Anyway, people, peace and good night.